What is going on, everyone? Hunter Bill here from Philly Insider with Nate Rossi and Ian Baldwin. And we've got a special guest today introducing Jack Fritz from 94.1, producer of the afternoon show with Marks and Reese. We appreciate you for hopping on, Jack. First off, tell us how you're doing. And you just came back from Clearwater. So what's kind of the vibe around the team right now?
The vibe's good. Larry Boa came on our show yesterday talking about how, I think they could be in the World Series, and I was like, hold on, it's pretty bold claim. But I mean, honestly, the Dodgers are obviously the Dodgers. I mean, they're ridiculous. There's some good teams in the NL, but that lineup is just sick. I mean, it seems like every day they're hitting like 3 homers a game. I mean, I don't want to say we could expect that every single night, but why not? So, the vibe's really, really good. Everyone seems in good spirits. They're working hard, and the general sense is like it's time. I mean, this whole freaking playoff drought is just the worst. So I think everyone's on the same page down there, and a little heightened sense of awareness, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, I owe Ian a jersey if the Phillies win the World Series this year. So
nice. I mean, you guys, I guess I didn't get the jersey now. I mean, something.
I mean, listen, I told him this was before we made the signings, and my end of the deal was if the Flyers even made the playoffs, I'd get him a jersey. So I'm looking pretty good on my end of the deal. I can't lie.
Yeah, I think you're all right. I think you'll be okay there, which is really, what a season for the Fly guys.
Yeah, we won't talk about them right now. But before I ask what I'm about to ask, I do have to apologize. So, funny story, I actually ran into Jack last week at Chipotle, and I was ridiculously awkward. But you are honestly like the Phillies Bible to us. So it's kind of like a starstruck moment. I can't lie. So I sincerely apologize about that.
Well, it was funny. It was funny. I walked in and I saw you wearing your Phillies hat, and you gave me the side eye, and then immediately whipped out your phone, and I was like, I've seen this one before. It's still so weird. It's cool. I think I being the Phils guy, I'm just me. So, I can't really help it. I love them. And it's just it's really, really cool meeting people that it's because the thing that drives me crazy is that people are like, oh, baseball's dying. No young people like baseball. And then it's I don't know. I talked to a ton of young people that like baseball. Just our team's been dead for a decade. It's not baseball. It's it's whatever. It's coming back. Plenty of people like baseball. A lot of us grew up on the best run in Phillies history. So listen, it's fine. And hopefully this year's the day we get back. But yes, that was hilarious. And I appreciate the FaceTime at the same time.
Now that there's no Roger Bernardino or Aaron Harang on the roster, I think people are going to be a little more into the squad.
Yeah, well, it's so funny too, because I remember even the last couple of years heading into the year, it's they're definitely going to be this is the year. And then they'd likely sweep the Braves to start the year, and everything would be great. But I saw someone post the lineup at the end of last year, Jorge Bonifacio's in the 5 hole. And it's what are we even doing here? So I don't know. I mean, you see the lineup now, and I mean 1 through 6 is just disgusting. And then if you get, I don't know, if you get a decent, they don't have to be great down the bottom of the lineup. Just don't be terrible. This lineup is just insane. So yeah, they are way deeper. And honestly, when you look on paper, you see the makings of what could be a good ball team.
Absolutely. So speaking of that, obviously you're saying the lineup 1 through 6 is absolutely filthy, which we completely agree with. But we wanted to get into just your thoughts on the rotation, because obviously we have some upgrades. We don't have to start Chase Anderson or Matt Moore or Vinny, and our bullpen had some upgrades. So how are you feeling about just the pitching group heading into this season? And then does that maybe help us contend a little more this year? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll give our guy Dave Dombrowski a pass for Chase Anderson and Matt Moore. We'll finally forgive him for that. For those decisions. I didn't think they're going to work out, and they didn't work out. So
Schedule lost every week.
Oh, it's just I mean, Chase, like just so
That's
uninspiring.
Rossi's quote.
So
yes, it is.
like, the rotation, it's like I'm definitely worried about it. Like on paper, I think it's a good rotation. Like even if Ranger, his ERA goes up by 3 times, it's still like a 3 ERA, 3.5. Like we'll take it. So like on paper, it's definitely good, but I gotta be lying if I said that Wheeler's shoulder didn't bother me, or Aaron Nola, like I want him to be great. Now, honestly, like I think he's throwing the ball better than, I don't know, like I've seen his fastball location look way better than it has in years past. Like look like he can like comfortably get to the outside corner, which he hadn't been able to do for the last 2 seasons, which was just insane off of what he did in like 2018. So he has given up the home runs though. I mean, like that's what he's done all spring. So I'm definitely worried about him. I think Ranger's Ranger, just give me 6-7 innings, less than 3 runs, and I'll take it every single day. Eflin, same kind of thing. I mean, when he's healthy, yeah, of course I trust him. I think he's a very, very solid pitcher, but he's had knee problems every single year. So do I want to bang on him? Yes, of course. I would love for Zach Eflin to have a complete season. That'd be awesome. But I can't say like 100% locked in that's going to happen. And then Gibson, again, same thing. Like they have, it depends what they do at third base. Like Bohm might not start, so that will definitely, I think, help his chances of having good ERA numbers, just given what he did in Texas. So, but Gibson's like, I don't know. I like the idea of his cutter. I think it actually is moving pretty well. And I think that's should help him kind of miss barrels. But if any of those guys miss time, I mean, I like Bailey Falter a lot. We'll see what he does, but he's been my guy for a little bit here. So I'm definitely bullish on him. But that's like Hans Krause, who I have no faith in, and Christopher Sanchez. And Chris Sanchez, like, he threw the ball well yesterday. The ball moves a little bit, but still, he has no real track record at the big league level. So there's no really depth. So my answer is, on paper, I think it's definitely good enough. But in baseball, in 162, in a season when they have a shortened spring training, and it's just, I just have this bad feeling about it. I can't shake it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of agreement that Aaron Nola is kind of the big wild card heading into this year in the Phillies rotation. And last year he had a 4.6 ERA. He was only 9-9 for them. And if you're looking for that certified number 2 behind Wheeler, he just was not that last year. So what are you expecting this year from Aaron Nola? Are you expecting a bounce back year? And is his baseball the biggest key? Pretty much everything.
So his thing is like 0-2. He, for some reason, just hasn't had that put away pitch. That's killed him. Runners in scoring position, that's killed him. Like any little bit of this is kind of teetering on getting a little bit out of control. I feel like he wasn't able to get the put away that he needed to kind of stop a rally and stop momentum and that kind of stuff. So, he's still allowing a lot of home runs in spring training. I know it's spring training, and I know that it's like the funniest part of the spring training is when the guys are hitting well, it's all that matters. And then, or when guys are doing well, it's like, oh, that's spring training. It's great. Like it's definitely going to translate. And then when guys suck, they say, well, listen, it's just spring training. So that's what makes it great. It's like PFF. It's PFF. It's good for your team. Everyone knows PFF. So I just don't trust Aaron. Like it's been a long 3 years with him where ever since 2018, it's like anytime it was a big game, like anything to stop a little momentum. I feel like every single Brave series in September, it's kind of lets us down a little bit. So I think he's be better than last year. Like last year was more of an anomaly for me. And again, I do think the fastball location looks really, really good early in camp. And for me, that's all that matters. Like at this point, like being able to get that pitch back to where it needs to be, because when he gets to where he's just throwing curveball, changeup, like that stuff's only really good off his fastball. So when he doesn't have fastball location, then he's just trying to get curveballs over, And when major league hitters see curveballs more and more, they're able to square it up more and more because they're the best people on the planet hitting a baseball. So I am optimistic, but I can't fully buy in on like Aaron getting back to any ERA in the twos.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair statement. I remember there was a game last year. I forget who we were playing, but it was like ninth inning. He was pitching a shutout, and then he gives up a two-run shot.
Yeah,
the right
Padres
game.
So,
that game. Yeah. So too many of that happening. But I want to go back to Ranger a little bit. Speaking of Nola, speaking of Nola and Ranger, I was at a game at Fenway last year where Nola got scratched. Brandon Kinsler started the game. This is right before the All-Star break, and then we somehow won though because Ranger went out there, pitched 2 1/3 or something like that at the end of the game, and I mean just the way he was able to succeed in so many different roles last year was phenomenal. I think he was a setup man, closer, and starter all in the same season. So what do you think about him? Like, what are some realistic expectations going into this year for him? Obviously, now he's part of the rotation. Like you said, he could triple his ERA and he'd still be great. But what are kind of some realistic expectations you're setting for him this year?
I don't know. Bill James had him in the top 10 in the shredder with his projections heading into the year. So I guess we're not the only ones bullish on Ranger. Man, it's so tough because you see the stuff and you're like, it's pretty good. But it's just he's such like a throwback kind of guy where it's still 95, like it still gets the job done, but it's like just does not give in. He's got that little tail at the end of his fastball that keeps it off righties. Like righties just can't consistently barrel it up. So a lot of soft contact. Like it's almost like watching Glavine. Like it's like watching what Glavine used to do back in the day, where it was just like both sides in, out, jam righties in, and then like change ups away. Just he has a really good plan of attack in an era where there's a lot of lift and launch. Like he has a changeup that works off his fastball in an era where people are just trying to hit homers all the time, and it's hard. Like for example, if you're throwing a fastball down the zone, that's hard to hit, and then if you pair that with a changeup down the zone where it looks like the same pitch out of hand, like it's just hard to do damage on that. So he took a step up, I think, when it came to his stuff. When he first came up, he was like 90, 91. He was throwing 96 last year. And my thing with him is that I just love his mound presence. And I just don't think you can teach that stuff. I don't think you can teach slow heartbeat. And I think if I was starting a playoff series, he's probably my second guy behind Wheeler. I mean, I think he's like, why wouldn't I? If you're looking for the best chance to get 7 innings out of a starter or 6 and keep you in a ball game, I would love to have Ranger out there. So, I think I'm expecting a 3.5 and below. I think I'm expecting that from him at this point, which is just an insane, turn of events with him. But I mean, he went from like a fireman last year role when he first came up. Well, he's like basically saving Spencer Howard. I was like, I'm gonna make this not be awful for everyone watching. So, saving Spencer. And then you had like the closer role. I mean, that game in Boston was insane. I mean, the final 6 out. Yeah. It was probably the most fired up I've been all year. Like I was so excited. And then just turning into like the best starter in baseball for 2 months. It was just ridiculous. So, I just think he's going to be good. I don't think we have to have this worry that Rangers. As long as the stuff's fine, which I think it is. I just don't think we have to have this concern that Rangers going to go back to being 90, 91 and not being the guy that we saw last year.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that too. I mean, talk about mound presence in that Fenway game. My goodness, like that's a good crowd up there. Like,
yeah.
And I was talking a lot of smack during the game after Ronnie Torreyes took Nick Pivetta yard. So I was getting real worried when Ranger was asked to pitch that much at the end of the game. And he goes right through Xander, JD Martinez, and Rafael Devers like it's nothing. So just wanted to add that on.
Then Pivetta pitched in the playoffs, and he was like, you know what, I am a big game pitcher. And you see that curveball 15 minutes a day. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
I was so pissed. Oh my gosh. I have a buddy who's a Red Sox fan. And he just texts me, like, he goes, "You liked that curve, didn't you?" And I was just, I was so mad.
It's my burner account. I was texting it. Yeah. Letting everyone know. I ended up being semi-right. Well, we'll see. It's just like the Pavetta thing. Oh my god, people were so like. It eventually turned into like being sarcastic about it, but like. It was just meltdown city. Every time I posted about him, like just people could not handle it. So whatever, I don't care. But yeah, we're looking all right. Looking all right
on the Red Sox, giving us a little PTSD. But I know we talked a lot about pitching, but I do want to kind of shift to what I'm sure everyone just wants to talk about right now. I know I don't shut up about it. My classmates want to kill me. But like, how are you feeling just about Schwarber, Castellanos, and Harper? Like, just the big three. How excited are you? And then, obviously, there are defensive concerns. Like, how are you feeling about that? And just like, in terms of fielding and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, the lineup's insane. I don't like. It's so funny. Obviously, like Bryce is an unbelievable hitter, but I don't know, man. Like I was watching Castellanos down in spring training, and it's just like, how do you get that guy out? Like it just feels like he can just put the ball wherever he wants. Like it's a very, very professional at bat. I don't know where his little Sheffield thing came from. Like all of a sudden he's like doing this out of nowhere. But whatever, like I'll take it for right now. And like it's like everything he hits is hard. Like it's always just hard contact over and over again. So and Schwarber, like someone messaged me today, like, "Oh, you concerned about him?" I'm like, I mean, like with Schwarber, he's gonna strike out. Like that's what's gonna happen. But the thing is, like even in his bats that I've seen, it's like he's still going after the right pitches. So it's not like he's chasing. It's not like he's swinging at pitches out of the zone. Like he's swinging at the right pitches. So I'll take that as translating over the more at bats he gets. It was late spring training, so now Castellanos obviously showed up and was like perfectly fine, which is good. So the lineup's it's just gonna be really, really tough. And I think JT's actually looked unbelievable this spring. It looks like they closed his stance a little bit and may have him a little bit more upright. Kevin Long, he might be the biggest addition this offseason, just from the standpoint of I think JT looks awesome. Mickey looks awesome. He got the most out of Schwarber last year. I think he's going to be a really, really big addition. Didi, I think Didi's actually looking pretty good. So it's crazy. Like 1 through 9, I generally feel pretty good about, which is like definitely a dangerous feeling heading into a season because like this is obviously not going to work out great. But my thing is like with the defense, if they commit to Johan Camargo starting at third base, I just think like I'm trying to decide between. I don't want to give up on Bohm because I think it's going to take a little bit for him to adjust. With Kevin Long. So I don't want to give up on him. But I also think that the floor of the team is raised if you have Johan Camargo play third base. And like the Phillies won a World Series with Pedro Feliz playing lockdown third base. Like you don't have to have bashers 1 through 9. Like you do need defense. And what's funny is like people rip on Schwarber's defense. He had better defensive metrics last year than Kutch. I mean, Kutch was pretty much done moving out there last year. So, and Schwarber is also better defensively than Castellanos, which is shocking. So maybe he's not that. And you see him moving so far out there. It looks pretty good. Vierling is like scary fast for how big he is. It's just so not. Like he had that triple the other day, and I was like, "How the hell did you get on third base?" Like he looks like a linebacker in a way. So it's just I don't know. Like I think I was a little more worried about the defense than there's a path to it being fine, like not being detrimental. Now, Bohm every day and Castellanos and left every day. That's probably a different story. But I think Vierling can track everything. Mickey gets weird jumps, man. It's just like it's never smooth. Like he gets there sometimes, but it's like just go get it. Harper's whatever, he's fine. I love that. My favorite thing about Bryce is like he'll just like field a ball in right field like he's at third base and then throw the guy out at home. Like that's not what you're supposed to do. But he's like 100 miles an hour on his right arm. So it's just it could have, it might have. We might have overreacted, I guess, in a way to how just dreadful it could be. But the problem is, like, I don't know what the Achilles heel is going to be. Like, I think the lineup's awesome. I think the rotation on paper is all good, fine. And I think the bullpen actually, like, looks pretty good. And the defense, I don't think it's going to be brutal. So looking forward to figuring out what ruins our summer. But at this point, it's very positive.
Yeah, I keep telling Ian it's going to be Familia, if anyone. But
there's no doubt about it. There's absolutely he's gonna pitch to a 3-5, but it's gonna be excruciating to get there. No doubt. I mean, I couldn't stand Familia when he was with the Mets. Like, and they always do this. It's like whoever I was not the biggest fan of, they're like, let's sign that guy. So, was not a big Familia guy, but hey, hopefully he finds the strike zone with us.
I'm just glad Vinny Velo is gone. I can't deal with him anymore. Let's move to the infield and specifically at shortstop. If you look at both Didi and you look at Bryson Stott, they've both pretty impressive spring trainings. They've been pretty good. So I want to get your take on what you think the Phillies should do here at this position. Even maybe Bryson third and Didi shortstop, maybe reverse that. So they've got some options in the infield. And what do you think of Alec Boehm? He is, I believe, 2 for 19. So what are you thinking about, especially the left side of this infield?
Yeah, if I was them, I don't know. Like, I would probably send Boehm down and get him more consistent work. And I would start Stott at third base. I think Didi, it's not going to be locked down at shortstop, but he's played there his whole career, whereas Bryson, I know people are so concerned about, Scott Kingery. It's like, relax, not every prospect's going to be Scott Kingery. If you look at Bryson Stott's at bats, it's like, he's a very professional approach. Like, I'm not worried that he's going to turn into Scott Kingery. And he's already played third, short, second, down in the minors. So I would probably start Stott at third. I mean, I just don't know how you don't take that guy north. I mean, he clearly looks ready. He has professional at bats. Not like he's getting lucky, like bleeders out there. He's legitimately spraying the ball to all fields, working pitchers, working at bats, and I just don't know how you don't take that guy up with you. And Stott Camargo for a little bit there. Like, I don't want to give up on Boehm, but I just think when you're heading into a year where you're trying to end a playoff drought for 11 years, I don't know how you take that guy up there and expect him to just figure it out as soon as the season starts. I think his at-bats have gotten better. I just think that last year was such a screw-up for him that he just almost needs to reset everything and kind of get back to basics a little bit here. So I just hope that he can contribute, but at this point, I got to do what's best for the 26 or 28 guys to start the season up north.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of talked about, going back to outfield a little bit, you talked a little bit on Moniak and Bierling already, but now Luke Williams is gone, Adam Hazley is gone, and 37 is on the injured list. So how are you kind of feeling about, this competition? Is there a possibility these two guys platoon? Is one of them going to secure a spot? Who do you think is kind of in the lead right now?
I think it's going to be a straight platoon. Like, I think Bierling probably plays more, like even against some righties. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, I don't think they're giving Mickey like every, start out there because obviously there's more righties and stuff. So, but I really like Bierling. I think he's a good, solid ball player. I think his actions at the plate are weird. Like his first movement when he's hitting his back, which is like so not what you're taught. So, but he somehow like gets it around and still hits the ball really, really hard. So it's like, sure, whatever, like just do it if it works for you. And he's done a much better job recently at lifting the ball a little bit more. Like, I mean, it was just into the ground. So he's started to lift the ball recently. So it's great. It's good to see. And then Mickey, I mean, I just think he's down to like 8% body fat now. Like when he was drafted, he was so small, and then he got like kind of bigger because he was trying to lift and put on all this, and now he's kind of just filling out. They moved him closer to the plate. I mean, he's able to get around or get to the outside pitch and take it the other way. You know, I hope that these guys just kind of go. We don't have to worry about 37 because he's not even a good baseball player. So I feel okay about center field. I don't think I just think that Vierling and I like Vierling more than I like both of those, both Mickey and Hazley were last year. So I just don't think it's going to be the monstrosity that it was at the start of last year. And I don't know. I think that it's just good, solid ball play out of Matt Vierling, and then I hope Mickey can take this up north. I mean, last year he did the same kind of thing where it was like gonna kind of tease us a little bit. I think he's been a little bit more consistent this year down there. So I don't know. I feel like I'm saying I'm positive about everything, but excuse me, they're going to be a good ball club.
There's plenty of time. I mean, it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah, of course it is. It's okay.
For sure. So with that, we just, we talked about pitching. We talked about defensive fielding. We talked about hitting, and we just wanted to get your record prediction with all that kind of in mind.
I'll take 88. No, I'll take 88. I think the NL East is pretty good. The Braves are still the Braves. I still think that Olsemo is going to end up coming back. I know on paper it makes sense. You can get him for cheaper, and he's going to hit 38 and what. It's just Freddie Freeman was the heart and soul of that team. And I just think that that's a bigger clubhouse loss. So, obviously Acuna coming back is ridiculous. I mean, he's on pace last year for 47 and 150 RBIs, and it was well on his way to being the MVP if he'd stayed healthy. So, adding that guy back is not it's not the easiest thing to go through. The Mets are still the Mets. I mean, they're talented. They're fine. Until they got to do it for me to really the Mets are good now. They still have little Mets things going on up there, like Marte's. There's still some Mets stuff up there. So I'll be conservative and say 88, but 92.
That's what I'm at. I'm at 92.
I don't know. I'll stick at 88. I'll try not to jinx them. I just can't wait. I really, next Friday literally cannot come soon enough. Every night being able to watch them, not the spring training version where the first 6 innings are incredible, and then having to see pitchers who, again, I know a lot. I have never heard of these pitchers in my entire life. I don't know where they came from. I don't know. What are we doing here? Can we get some?
Rosso.
Well, listen, Ramon's an Olympic. He's a gold medal Olympic pitcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, he won a gold.
That's crazy.
Yeah, don't disrespect Ramon Rosso. No, I think he's on the Tigers. He could be like a White Sox. I mean, the White Sox just take all our players. They have Cesar, or they have Adam Hazley, they have Cornelius Randolph, they have Vinny Velasquez. Congrats, good job. It sounds like you guys have a good ball club. Well, they have the third best World Series odds, but I don't know why they're taking our players.
At least the Gannats have Michael and Cesar on the squad.
I know.
So.
I know. And Franzen. Don't forget Franzen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I think I know where you're going to fall on this issue. I have a lot of DoorDash listed to 94.1. So I want to ask you about the luxury tax. Are you surprised that they went over the luxury tax? And what is your opinion on that? Do you think it's a good move to go over the luxury tax at this moment?
Yeah, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. I am very, very surprised they did. I was more bullish on him doing it because I did believe that if they were close, I thought he would go over it. The fact that he did it before the season is the part that kind of surprised me. But I don't know, like at some point, it's been 11 years. You're in a big market. You have Harper in his prime, JT in his prime, Hoskins in his prime, like all these guys in their prime. This is the window. So just go for it. I mean, and plus, like they should pretty easily be able to get under it next year if they wanted to. Like Didi's coming off the books, Segura off the books, so that's going to free up a good amount of money. So if it, maybe they go over and then go back down next year. But it's just one of those things where the penalty is not crazy. You'll make it back in ticket sales within like a month because the city's jacked up. I mean, I wanted Schwarber the most out of anyone. Most because I didn't want to give up a draft pick for Castellanos. On top of the money that I thought he's going to get like 140-ish, 120 to 140-ish, and to get him where they got him, it does hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts giving up the draft pick. There's some second round draft pick prospects that I was definitely very excited about. I'm not lying. This is not being facetious. This hurts, but I guess I'll take 92 wins. But at some point, like it's not that bad of a penalty. You'll make it all back. It gets your fan base just. Like this is real. I mean, there's real Phil's buzz. Like no one really knows how to talk about him yet because everyone's just like, holy crap, they're gonna just hit the like mash all the time, and people are kind of waiting for something to go wrong, which is fair. But at some point, man, like you gotta just do what you gotta do. Give this team a shot, and you can still build the team. Like it's not like it's not like a salary cap. It's something that's there. You can still draft, you can still develop, but you have a core here in Castellanos, Schwarber, JT, Bryce, Hoskins, if they re-sign them. This is it. And you gotta facilitate pieces around them. Wheeler, Nola, obviously they're in there too. But you don't it's not like it has to stop right now. So definitely something they had to do. Get the fan base going, get them ready to go, and end that playoff drought.
Absolutely, that's what we're hoping for this year. And Jack, that's really all we wanted to touch on. Those are the main talking points we wanted to hit on tonight. So we want to thank you so much for joining us. We know you're busy. We know you got back from Clearwater today. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say before we let you go?
Yeah, I mean, listen, next time, I guess just corner me in Chipotle again, and I guess I'll come on and we'll talk some Phillies again.
We will be sure to do so at the
camp out at Chipotle. No, I'm kidding.
No. It's all good. No, it's good to be back. It's going to be a fun season. That Mets game last year, the Wheeler start on Doc Day. Like I need that. Oh, I need it. I need another one of those kind of moments to where it's like, wow, because honestly, walking around the ballpark that day, like I started getting chills because you could hear you could just hear the electricity, and I need that again. It's been a long 11 years. I mean, Tyler Goodell, like all these guys. I don't know why.
He saved David Hernandez's butt in that one play.
It's always Tyler Goodell. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tyler. But it's just been it was so bad. It was such a just bad baseball. And again, I said this on High Hopes, but we all deserve it. So we deserve this season, and I can't wait for it to get started.
Absolutely. Me and Ian were at the game the day before the Doc retirement game, and I mean, 4:05 game, you just walked in. I mean, me and Ian were like, it literally has not been like that since we were like little. So,
I mean, he had the Bryce Homer on the Friday off of Edwin Diaz. Like, I know.
Edwin Diaz pointing up too.
I know. Just so sweet. Just so sweet. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I can't wait to nerd out. And I honestly can't wait to find out what the Achilles heel is. Like, what's gonna be the thing that's gonna ruin my summer? But we don't need to know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a July Jack problem for sure.
Don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
But hey, thank you so much, Jack, again for hopping on.
Yeah,
we really do appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime. Have a good one, all right?
All right, we'll see you later, Jack.
See you, Jack.
Peace.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what a great guy. What a great
Awesome.
guy. And
Awesome,
anything
dude.
you guys want to say here before we kind of wrap up? Thank you to everyone who tuned in as well.
Yes, thank you all. Man, I am just buzzing right now. I cannot wait to sit down on that couch right there that you can kind of see the corner of and get my peanuts, get my Wawa cheesesteak, get my Cracker Jacks, get some big lemonade. Shout out Hunter and Zach for the big lemmies. And honestly, and Rossi too. Rossi's a big lemmy guy.
Yeah.
Get my big lemmy. Absolutely veg out on that couch. Absolutely veg out on that couch right there and just watch my boys mash the crap out of that baseball.
Anything, Rossi?
Guys, I just have one thing to say. Phillies baseball is back, baby. It is time, and I have a feeling we are making the playoffs this year. Let's go.
Oh,
I am amped up. This is going to be the best Phillies season we've seen in quite a while, because we were obviously, like I said, we were so little. Like, obviously, yes, we enjoyed the 2008 run, even as kids. Like, we stayed up and watched those games from 2007 to 2011. That was amazing. But now that we're adults, it feels like we just haven't gotten to appreciate anything the same outside of the Eagles Super Bowl, which, don't get me wrong, if anything had to happen, that's the one I wanted.
Top tier.
But still, it's been like that, and then just a bunch of pain as well. So, yeah, I'm excited, guys. I can't wait. And we've got Sixers playoffs coming up. Villanova's in the Final Four the next weekend. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff going on right now. So, yeah, with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Ring the bell, MV3, why not Mick, as Jack likes to say. Had that hashtag down there. And, yeah, we will see you guys in the next video, next live stream. So, go Phils, y'all.
Go Phils.
Go Phils.
Peace.